Let's bring in now Rosa Flores, who's at a polling location for us in Dallas. Rosa, thanks very much for being with us. What can you tell us about this problem, the scale of it, and why it happened?
You know, Rachel, we've been seeing this all day long at the polling location that you see behind me. People walking up, wanting to vote, and being turned away. One woman was even in tears earlier today because she was just so emotional, the fact that she was not going to be able to vote. Of course, everybody has limited time. Now, here's the easiest way for me to explain why this is. In Dallas County, both parties, the Republicans and the Democrats, have to agree on Election Day if there will be countywide voting centers. That means that any voter can go to any precinct and cast their ballot. However, the Republicans this time around decided that they were not agreeing to that. Democrats wanted it, but Republicans didn't. And so that means that there is precinct-based voting. So on your register card, whatever address it says in there and whatever precinct it says in there, that's where you have to walk in and vote. That's why there is so confusion. And I'm a data girl, Rachel. I walked in and asked the county judge, the election judge that's in charge here, and he said that at 5:30 p.m. Central Time, 388 people had voted and about 350 people had been turned around. So those 350 people have to go to some precinct here in Dallas County before they go vote because they have to find their actual precinct that they belong to cast their ballot. Rachel.
And Rosa, just to be clear on the sort of county-wide vote centers, which are happening in other counties in Texas, which you say both parties would have to agree to in order to have the primaries run that way in these counties. That has not happened in Dallas County for this primary. Had it previously been the arrangement in Dallas County that there were countywide vote centers and so people didn't need to know their individual precinct, they could just vote at one of these centers? Is this something that's new for this primary in this county?
It is. We asked the Dallas County Elections Department about this, and they said that since 2019, everybody in this county had been able to go to any voting center and cast their ballot. And in fact, during early voting, Rachel, so just a few days ago, early voting ended on Friday the 27th here in Texas. People could go to any voting center. It's on Election Day that this voting changed. That's why there is so much confusion. Now, I asked the Republican election judge, too, because, as you know, there's Republican and Democratic primaries happening at the same time. In this particular case, they're in the same building. So I asked the Republican election judge the same question that I asked the Democratic election judge. And the election judge for the Republicans said that they haven't seen as much confusion because they haven't seen as much turnout. As you've been talking about on the show, the turnout in Texas is through the roof. A lot of it is Democratic. I ran the numbers on that, too. For early voting, there was more than 2.5 million people who voted in the state of Texas. More than 50% of those, Rachel, were for the Democrats. So it's for the Democratic primary. So we're seeing all this confusion on the Democratic side, not on the Republican side, according to the election judge from the polling place that you see behind me, because they just don't have the turnout that Democrats have right now.
Oh, wow. So it's confusion of a considerable consequences. Confusion mostly on the Democratic side, confusion caused by the Republican Party and its decision about how to allow voting to be conducted in this county. Rosa, we are very, very lucky to have you on this story for us where you are tonight. I know we're going to be back with you over the course of the evening as this story continues to evolve. Thank you so much, Rosa Flores, for us in Dallas County, Texas.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.